Hey everybody, how's it going? So I have made these types of videos a few times already, but people keep asking me in my comment section, specifically men. They're all men that have been asking me this. So hopefully this video is straightforward. So these guys are asking, how come women find the dupes of Creed Aventus sexier than the original? It's the OG. How does that make any sense? Because I made a video stating that men love Aventus more than women. That's not saying women don't love it. There are some that do, but the percentage of women that love Aventus is disproportionately smaller than the percentage of men that go nuts over that scent. Okay, and the answer is that Creed Aventus opens up smelling fresh and pineapple-y, but then it has this smoky note in it that to the masculine nose, to a lot of guys, adds more complexity. It adds some depth. It's like, oh yeah, this is real good. And on top of that, we can't lie with the price point. When people buy something that's expensive, there's already this psychological thing going on in our mind that, oh, I have something high-end, something high class. So mix the complexity of that smoky note, the mass appeal of the pineapple, and the price of the fragrance, and a brand, a big baller brand like Creed, and it just makes for something that's very attractive to guys. Like everything about it screams, oh yeah, this is like a, you know what I mean? Like I'm the man wearing this fragrance, you know what I mean? But what I have come to find out is that women don't give a fuck about the smoky note of the fragrance. The thing that makes it really attractive to men, that gives it that little twist, women don't really care too much about it. Now, of course, again, I'm not saying this is the same for all women across the board, but it's just been so common. Like when I've tested them side by side, not only on myself, I remember I sprayed this on a guy. And same thing, guys liked the original, girls didn't give a fuck about the original, but they loved Club de Nuit Intense Man. Now, Club de Nuit Intense Man has the fresh pineapple opening as well, be it synthetic, a little bit more synthetic, of course, but it has no smoky note. On top of that, it just has this kind of clean musk dry down, and the fragrance is simple and straightforward. I remember the first time I tested Club de Nuit Intense Man, I honestly loved it, right? Within 10 minutes, I got approached by 2 different women. They were pretty far away from me because this thing was just like pushing, I would say like 5 arms lengths away. And they were like, oh my God, you smell so good. One of them came closer and like stuck her face in my sweater because I sprayed it like in, you know how you have like your lapel, but I kind of opened my sweater and then sprayed it there. And she was just sniffing that spot. She's like, that smells so good. And even with me, I was like, damn. And I remember when I was walking around, like whatever room I was in, Club de Nuit Intense Man was lingering. Now with Creed Aventus, I did experience poor performance with it. There was talk, I remember that somebody brought to my attention that the fragrance was reformulated, and I guess the older batches of it had much better longevity and strength. So I wish I could have smelled that, because for me, I do like Aventus, but I don't love it. Instead, I honestly prefer Aventus cologne. And that's another thing I've noticed with women too when I tested that fragrance. They much rather preferred Aventus cologne over Aventus. And it was the same thing. It was just a simple fragrance, nothing complicated about it, but that's what made it lovable. That's what made it attractive and sexy. It was easygoing, but at the same time, like just super mass appealing and welcoming. You know what I mean? Whereas when I did test that, guys were like, oh yeah, that's like, it's basic, blah, 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 blah. So that's what it comes down to. Of course, wear whatever fragrance you want. If it makes you feel confident in it, that's what matters. But I'm just saying here that for everyone, because there were guys that DM'd me that were like, I did buy my Aventus, but I've only been complimented from men. And they kind of were like, what the hell? Because it's advertised as this really sexy, appealing, oh, women love this and I'm the king, blah, blah, blah. Nah, like, I'm just gonna tell you straight up, that's a boxer dropper fragrance. Yes, there's girls that love it, but again, like the ones that really pull attention to the feminine nose, Club de Nuit Intense Man, Aventus cologne. I mean, Silver Mountain Water is actually to me the best from Creed in terms of the feminine nose type of reactions. But if we're just talking about the fresh pineapple ones, and we're talking about Aventus specifically in this video, then yeah, Club de Nuit Intense Man, Aventus cologne to women blow out Creed Aventus easily, whereas it's the other way around for men. Men think, well, to men, Aventus is so much better than those 2 fragrances, all right? Because I have to state that people don't know the price tag of things you're wearing when you have the fragrance. Yes, it feels amazing to own a $350 fragrance, maybe a $500 fragrance in your collection and when you're wearing it, but when you're walking around, people don't know the price of that. You know what I mean? So that's the thing with these dupes. I do give a lot of respect to Aventus because it's a trailblazer in that regard. You know what I mean? It's the blueprint when it came to making popularized fresh pineapple scents. So a lot of these dupe companies are trying to like chip away at its success, or take a piece of that success, I should say. But for me, I've made a video on this too about how I actually do prefer Club de Nuit Intense Man over Aventus, but that includes other things like the price point and the longevity. Because shit, if I'm getting over 12 hours with a $35 fragrance and it smells not exactly identical, but it smells really, really good, and it lasts and it just has an amazing scent trail, all that, it's really hard to compete with something that just sits really close to my skin for 3 hours, you know? So what I'll do is I'll leave links for all 3 fragrances and for the discount sites in the description. And I hope you have a great day. See you in the next video. Bye.